All right, happy Wednesday. Hi, guys. I hope you're having a great afternoon. We're going to dive right in, and I want to share with you just a continuation of a video that I did yesterday. And you might have seen it. I don't know if you did or not, but it came up of a conversation that we had with Jack's daughter because she was writing a paper for school. And it was this book about I forget who wrote it, but it was this guy basically who kind of had this concept that everything was meaningless, nothing mattered because in the end we're all going to die, right? And so she had to kind of write her thoughts and her thoughts towards this, and I thought it was a really great paper that she wrote. But the concept was really like, why bother? Why bother being happy? Why pursue happiness? What's the point of being happy? At the end of the day, we're all headed to the same place. We're all going to die. Nothing really, really matters, right? And so it got me thinking because a lot of times when I work with women and I coach people, one of the things that we strive for is this: I just want to be happy. I just want to be happy. What will make me happy? And we have this a lot in our society, right? Like, what is happiness going to give us? If I could just be happy. And you guys know I love words. I love the energy. I love the create. And sometimes people argue and they say, well, words change over time. And they do change over time. We have different words that evolve and they mean different things and they create different things. But I always go back to what was the original intent of the word? Why was the word created? What is the energy behind the word? When you speak it, what do you create? Because words have energy. If from a very biblical standpoint, that God spoke the world into existence, we are made in his image, that what we speak creates, and it creates in a huge crazy way that we're not sometimes really not even aware of. And that is the power of our words and why words are so powerful. um, and why what we say on people can and really scar people and leave such damage because words have so much power. So looking at this word happy, and I've done this before, so I was like, oh, I kind of remember this because I remember coaching with somebody and she kept talking about, I just want to be happy, I just want to be happy. So we looked it up, and I'm just going to read you what it says. So happy is an adjective. It comes from the late 14th century, and it says lucky, favored by fortune, being advantageous. It's lucky. It's to be lucky. The noun happiness just meant good fortune. It just was, you had good fortune. You were just lucky. Now I thought, well, I wonder how much that has evolved over time. And so I looked it up in the Merriam-Webster dictionary, and there's multiple definitions for it, but the first one is still just lucky. To be happy just means you're lucky. So, can we really strive to be lucky? Can we really strive to be happy? Like, is that something that we can create on our own? Not really. That's the whole point of luck, right? It's just the luck of the draw. So, this idea that I just want to be happy, really what we keep saying to the universe is, I just want to be lucky. I just want to be lucky. I just want to win the lottery, right? So, really, what is it that we're striving for instead? And if you've ever found yourself in this place of saying, I just want to be happy, I would encourage you to dive a little bit deeper. What is it that you actually mean by that? I think for most people, what we mean is, I just really want to feel content. I want to feel joy. I want to find peace. It talks a lot in the Bible about a peace that surpasses all understanding. And I had that experience once. I had a spiritual experience once where I experienced that peace on a level that was unlike anything I had ever experienced. It surpassed anything I've ever understood up until then or since then. I've never only had it happen once, and it was a life-changing moment for me. But that peace, that's what we're looking for, right? Joy, bliss. So every time you find yourself kind of using that word happy, I want you to think, okay, do I really mean happy? Do I really just say I want to be lucky, or am I looking for something else? So then the question becomes, how do I find that something else? How do I find that contentment? How do I find that joy? How do I find that peace? And that's where I go back to on my soapbox of the gratitude soapbox. That's what we've been doing all week, this 7-day sales challenge that I'm doing with a group of women. I keep saying it's a sales challenge because we do that in my business. It's not. It's not a sales challenge. It has nothing to do with sales. It's a 7-day challenge called Gratitude Connections. It's like, when you've said something 100 million times. So when we have new people who join my team, we give them a 7-day sales challenge. And so I'm so used to saying that over and over that I keep saying that all week. And that has nothing to do with what we're doing. This is completely different. It is a Gratitude Connections 7-day challenge. And in the challenge, it's to build resiliency and connections and activity and momentum, and to make some mind shift changes in how we think, everything being grounded in gratitude. And so every day we've been doing a gratitude anchor, a connection anchor, and an activity anchor. And when we start with that, it's really powerful. And I had an experience over the weekend that reminded me of how gratitude reframes things. So I'll share it with you guys. So uh, I ordered my groceries online so I could go pick up my groceries Sunday morning. We were going to a barbecue at a friend's house. I wanted to be able to bring a dish. It was like a potluck barbecue. We're all bringing in dishes. I had signed up for whatever and had to go make my dish. So I said, okay, I'm going to order my groceries online. I'm going to go pick them up. I'll have enough time to pick up the groceries, make my dish, and then get to the barbecue. So I get to the pickup store and I'm on my, check in, whatever. I'm sitting there online and it says they're bringing out your groceries. And I'm waiting and I'm waiting and waiting. And the groceries never come out. And then all it says, okay, order's completed. And I'm like, no, the order's not completed. I'm still sitting here. Right. So I go inside and I'm like, it's showing my order's completed. It's obviously not completed. I'm still here. I never got my order. Well, it turns out, and I have no idea how this happened because I literally have never ordered from this other location. My order was at another location, as if I had picked a different store location, same store, but different location to pick it up at. And that store was about 15, 20 minutes away. And I remember feeling so frustrated because I'm like, now I'm going to be late. I got to drive 15, 20 minutes there, 15, 20 minutes back. Now that's going to totally throw off. I'm going to be late, scrambling, like totally frustrated. And then I stopped and I thought to myself, wow, I'm so grateful that the store that it accidentally went to is only 20 minutes away and not 2 hours away. I can still go there. I can still drive there. I can still pick up my groceries. I'm so grateful it's not a 2 hour difference. Imagine if the store had been an hour away, right? That's a mind frame. That is a mind shift that changes how we view things. And it goes back to that Wayne Dyer saying of when you change how you look at things, things you look at start to change, right? Our lives start to change. We start to change because we look at things differently. And so I can look at it as like, oh, I'm totally annoyed and frustrated and pissed off that, it's 15, 20 minutes away. Or I can look at it and go, well, thank goodness it's only, 20 minutes away, not 2 hours away. What do we want to choose to think about? What do we want to choose to focus on? Um, and so, again, I love words because I just think they're super powerful. And I think what we say is incredible. I'm going to share with you Friday some ways that words have been like manifesting in my life, some things that I've been speaking about for a while that now it's like all of a sudden they've just all starting to pop up. I'm going to share with you this crazy story because I'm even kind of going back on, whoa, what's happening here? How is this happening? So excited to share that with you. For the sake of time today, I won't, but I will. I will share with you Friday. But I would love to know, what are the words that you use all the time that maybe you don't really think about and don't realize what they actually mean? And I use one of those dictionaries. It's called an etymology dictionary. Etymology. I'm not sure how you pronounce the word, but it basically is you type in the word and it tells you what was the root word. Like where did the word come from initially? And there's certain words that I no longer use. Like I no longer use the word passion. I no longer use the word discipline, because when you start to understand where these words come from, you go, wow, that's not really what I was intending at all. And is that really what I want to create? I also hate the word hustle. We say this a lot, like a side hustle. Hustle actually meant that like a thief. So there's a lot of reasons why people have that kind of weird pushback on the word hustle. So sometimes if there's a word or there's something like that and you wonder like, why am I having resistance from it? Why am I resisting that? Go look what the word is. Go look up what the word is. You might be resisting it because energetically your body is like, nope, that's not what I'm actually wanting. That's not actually what I'm looking for. But what imagine, and rather than just looking for this lucky happiness. Imagine if what we really found was contentment, around if what we really experienced was peace and joy. That is right. So I'd love to know in the comments, number one, tell me where you're coming from. But number two, tell me, what is it that you're looking for? If you've always said happy, like really, what would that be? What are the things that you're striving for? What are the values and the experiences and the feelings that you're looking for in your life? Because when you start to speak them out, when you start to talk about them, you start to create them. And you may not even realize that you're creating them, but I'm going to share with you Friday how I've been creating without even realizing I was creating, which is super wild. I'm so excited. There's power. There's power in what you say, and there's power in what you say to other people, which is why we are told to guard our words, guard our hearts, because what we speak, we are speaking into our existence. We are creating the future with our words. Remember, we create our future every single day with every thought that we have, every action that we take, every word that we speak. We literally are creating a future that doesn't exist yet. And so I think we need to take that responsibility deeply, as a deep responsibility for the power that our words have and what they can give life and they can take life. And using our words in a way that honors God, ourselves, each other, and particularly in the world of the keyboard warriors, those are still words that we're creating, even if we're not speaking them. So watch our words today, but tell me, what are some of the words that you would love to experience in your life?